you're saying that you've been studying this for 25 years?
Yes.
Great.
It
And what,
began, it began like everyone else, the law of attraction, The Secret, all of this stuff, I guess you could say. All of this. It also studied with an intense historical search of all religions that I could come up with. I was looking for commonalities, common grounds. I don't know what the force was that compelled me, but something compelled me, until I found the common ground. And then by the time I reached Neville, it was like a full circle understanding of what had always been there.
so for people who don't know, who is Neville Goddard?
Neville
Who,
Goddard
who
is a
was he?
spiritual, he is a spiritual teacher that that basically learned a lot of his teachings from a ancient Ethiopian rabbi who was raised Jewish, actually. And so this Ethiopian man taught him scripture in the way that it was meant to be, the esoteric side. And so Neville Goddard, along with Joseph Murphy and many other teachers, studied under this man.
Oh, that I didn't know. Murphy did
Yes,
too. Oh,
yes,
okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
yes.
So now
And
for those who don't know,
mhm.
how is it that he was Ethiopian, but he was a Hebrew? How did that happen?
Yes, he was adopted. He was adopted. And so, and he was instructed and raised in a home where they were Hebrew, and where they practiced this in the way that he was taught scripture. So he was blessed. He was blessed in his adoption, you could say, and from there he was privy to ancient scriptures in a totally different way. A lot of us don't know this, but in truth, the language itself is four-dimensional,
Yes.
and it is scientifically true, spiritually true. Um, um, it's true in all aspects, in every dimension.
Mathematically true.
Mathematically true. Yeah, it's very precise. So our language doesn't even come close to translating what's actually there. It barely scratches the surface if we only take one meaning.
Yes.
When there's so many other hidden meanings.
Exactly.
So
So are you saying then that the King James Bible is a little suspect? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I don't want to say that. I want to say that the way that we are translating what we are being taught as secular history is not accurate. It's right. It's more important to understand what the myths mean than it would be to understand anything else, right? If you understand what the myths mean, then what's written on paper takes on a whole new meaning. It becomes a guide for your life in every day. And it helps you have peace over everything. And you discover that peace is the power that controls everything around you. And so you delight in this power and this knowledge, but you don't realize it until you actually apply what you're taught through these myths. But it's important to remember it began as an allegory, it ends as an allegory, right?
Yeah.
And it's universally true for everyone.
So
right?
now, could you give us an example of one of these allegories? How you?
Yes, so the different states of being, you could say. For example, in the story of the myth, my favorite, right? My absolute favorite is Jacob Esau. This is my favorite. The blind father who needed to be convinced in order to give his brother his inheritance. So his brother had to pretend to be his brother in order to get his inheritance. That's that story. Well, on the surface, that seems kind of like a crazy story. It seems a story of, deceit, all kinds of things, but that's missing the point. The point is that we are all blind, truthfully, because we can only see the neurological representation that occurs in the back of our head. Mm-hmm. So we are already not seeing the whole picture. We're only seeing what we believe to be real. So we're already blind, and we all must convince our body of what is real to enter into a new state. Okay. And that's what that story is about. It's about learning how to use yourself somewhat as the remote control and convincing your blind father, understanding that your blind father is your brain, who's completely in the dark, encased in your skull, as blind as it can be. And you must convince yourself with what is real using your body. That's what that story's about. So if you understand its deeper meaning, you'll understand how to apply the state to create anything you want. That's why it's one of my favorites.
Right. So in other words, it's like act as if you have it.
Yes, yes,
Keep it simple. Just
yes. Keep it
fa-
simple.
fake it till you make it.
Yes, yes. You know, and there's a certain double-mindedness that occurs when, for example, if we wanted wealth and we do not consider ourselves to be the first cause of that wealth, then we will remain in the poverty that we are unconscious of being.
So in other words, you're saying that until I realize that I generate my prosperity, as opposed to
Yes,
looking outside, well, I got to contact this guy, I got to contact those guys, until I come to that realization, then nothing's going to happen.
yes.
I got
The
you.
state doesn't change. And so in other words, this is how you convince your blind father
Yes.
within you.
So you fake it till you make it.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so now, how did you come across this notion of like um, the bridge to mastery? What could you tell us more about that?
Sure. So this is just a play on words. To be honest, my name itself means light.